Hey guys, in today's video I will be reviewing my $3,800 MSRP wristwatch, the Grand Seiko SBGX353. I purchased it for $3,200 because I negotiated a discount with my authorized dealer. Just look at that Zaratsu polishing, amazing mirror-like finish. And there are two other models with the same case design and movement, the SBGX347 and 349, and one has a white dial and the other one has a dark blue navy dial, and I really wanted this one with the textured blue dial. I don't know, I'll use my loop here so you can get a better close-up of the watch perhaps. Right, you can see right there we have amazing dial texture. Just look at the hands. It's really great polishing for sure. And this is all hand polished, by the way, using people that have essentially trained for over 3 years on the machines necessary to be able to do this. So the polishing is to a very high standard and really kind of like glows like crystals depending on the light. So it's really cool. You can even see like the edges of the hour hand looks like it's glowing, but it's just how the watch catches the light. It's just really beautiful polishing wise. And essentially what the mirror-like polishing means is that it looks like a mirror, right? You can clearly see everything in the background. And the only disadvantage to this though over like a satin finish is that it does scratch much more easily. And you know, if you do like look here, you can see it's a little bit hard to capture on the camera, but there are some scratches that have accumulated. You can see right there on the edge, right where my edge of my finger is, you can see some scratches for sure. But at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really matter, especially like if you bought this watch new. You know, I remember where I got the scratch. Actually, I was like in a club in Japan, in Kyoto, and I think I like hit like some metal railing or something while dancing with the watch. And you know, that's why it's kind of nice to get a new watch, because you know it's more personal. You remember each of these things, and this is something I got to plan to keep for life. So when I see these scratches, I don't think of it as damage. You know, it just seems like a part of the watch to me. And honestly, like, the amount of wear and tear is really not significant. Like, aside from the parts that are, you know, scratched up, like, the finishing is still excellent quality. You know, aside from like this line here, which is pretty scratched up, like, I don't even know if that is necessarily Zaratsu polished, but the other sections just have incredible finish. And of course the dial is not going to be changed by, you know, external scratches or something. And the glass is sapphire crystal. It's boxed to represent like the vintage plexiglass look, so it has off-axis distortion. You can see how the texture of the watch, I mean the like magnification will change. You can see like the other side, it seems like it's warping a little bit, and it's not really something you notice, but it's really interesting because the dial of the watch is just so intricate. You know, it just changes a lot in the lighting you're in, and it just looks really beautiful. Also, the sizing is 34 millimeter, which for some might be a bit small, I guess, but I mean, my wrists are like 6.5 inches and I think it looks fine. I was previously using a 33.5 millimeter watch before I got this, and originally when I got the 33.5 one, I thought it was small, but it really grew on me, and I don't know if it's really easy to show, but yeah, so that is how it looks. Maybe for some they'll still think it's small, but you know, personally, I don't want a bigger case just for the same movement, right? This is the smallest, I think, 9F61 that's ever been released, and it's a little bit confusing why it costs so much in Grand Seiko's, you know, pricing. They're not really the best at this, but I did get a discount, so I think for that price it's reasonable. And the movement is the 9F61, like I said. It's accurate to plus or minus 10 seconds per year, time only function. The second hand always hits the second marker with 0 backlash at all because of the think it has like this twin step motor or something where it actually ticks twice in 1 second, but you can't see it to the naked eye because it's really fast. And yeah, I mean, it's really just an excellent watch. I wear this every day actually, and this is a dress watch, so maybe that's not the point, but I really just like the look of it, and it's never like getting boring. So I had this like $300 SACM 171 Seiko, and the ticking of the second hand was so loud, it was very annoying. Eventually it just like pissed me off so much, and I had to get this, and the polishing was not nearly as good. It's not nearly as beautiful as this watch with its amazing dial as well. You can just see how great the polishing is on this watch. It's phenomenal, truly. I don't think, unless your wrist is like really big, I don't think you can really go wrong with this. And obviously, like, it has a leather strap, but I think the leather strap here is pretty high quality because I have like played significant like tennis with it and sweat a lot in it, and it's held up fine. And I don't really think babying the watch is necessarily in my best interest because I really want to enjoy it, and I really like wearing this on the tennis court and stuff because it's just such a beautiful piece where I can just see the time, and I really enjoy wearing this watch. The only time I don't wear it is in the shower, obviously, because that would be a recipe for disaster, especially on the outer side. But not frequently, only a couple times I've used like some leather conditioner, like the ones that came with the Odyssey LCD5, and maybe that's doing a good job, like preserving the life, but it's whatever. Also, the Movement has a 3-year battery life. It's not solar powered or anything, and obviously, the solar powered dials are not going to have the same, dial capabilities as this one. And is the watch perfect? No. For example, let me see here. Okay, let me try to zoom in here. I don't know if it's gonna like come up, but for example, on the edge of the 9 indice, there's like some, finishing imperfections. It's probably not gonna show up, honestly, but like at the same time, these are handcrafted devices, so you can't really expect perfection, and to the naked eye there's nothing that's really noticeable in the dial. But obviously, with any like handcrafted piece, if you get a loop or a magnifying glass and just put it to it, it's going to show 1 or 2 errors. But to the naked eye, it's really just unbelievable. Like for example, my SACM 171, if I take it under the loop, there's actually no visible error, but the standard of the standard of the polishing is to a much lesser degree. It's not reflecting light nearly as well as this watch does. And the benefit of getting something over like this over Rolex is that people outside don't recognize it and try to rob you or something. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, I mean, I definitely think this is a watch that can see you through life. You don't have some annoying, accuracy issues with typical, luxury watches. Obviously, with the plus or minus 10 seconds per year. When I came back from Japan and on New Year's Day, I set it, and it's lost less than half a second since then. And typically, these watches are faster in hotter conditions and slower in colder conditions, even though it's thermocompensated. But I'm not sure. But regardless, half a second lost in like nearly 3 months is definitely well within the plus or minus 10 seconds per year spec. And it's really nice because I can trust the time this watch gives versus, some crappy automatic watch. You don't even have any faith in what, time it's giving you. And it's nice to have it in its own, package where this is not, communicating with some outside, radio tower sending signals, right? This is the pure accuracy of the watch, and it's just a beautiful piece, in my opinion. I really like it. Highly recommend the Grand Seiko SBGX353. Can we get some focus here? There we go. Yeah. Beautiful texture dial, amazing polishing on the hands. Great watch all around. Embrace the scratches because this is definitely bound to get scratched up with the degree of polishing it has. But yeah, one final wrist shot perhaps, and there we go. The Grand Seiko SBGX353.